Hello, little adventurers, and welcome back to our story corner. Today, Romo, Bobby, and their clever friend Kat are on another exciting journey. They've been walking for hours past tall whispering trees and over rolling green hills. But just as they thought their path was clear, they stopped in their tracks. Before them was a river, but it wasn't like any river they had ever seen before. It wasn't filled with water, but with thousands of shimmering, bouncing bubbles. They sparkled in the sunlight, wobbling and floating, making soft popping sounds. Romo the rabbit, with his big, curious eyes, stared in amazement. "Wow!" he exclaimed, his whiskers twitching. "How are we supposed to cross this? We can't swim in bubbles." But Bobby the bear, always the bravest and perhaps a little too hasty, chuckled, "Don't you worry, Romo, I've got this." "It looks fun," he declared with a confident grin. "Easy. You just have to hop from one bubble to the next, like this, without another thought." Bobby took a mighty leap and landed right in the middle of a giant, wobbly bubble. For a split second, he balanced perfectly, beaming with pride. But then the bubble wobbled, jiggled, and with a loud pop, Bobby splashed right into the bubbly river. "W-A-A-H!" he yelled as he disappeared under a mountain of foam. A moment later, Bobby's head popped back up. He was covered from head to toe in shimmering suds, and little bubbles were clinging to his fur and his nose. He looked less like a bear and more like a big, fluffy cloud. Kat, who had been watching from the riverbank, couldn't hold it in any longer. She burst out laughing, holding her sides. "Bobby, you look like a floating balloon," she giggled, pointing a paw at their bubbly friend. Romo started giggling too, watching Bobby splutter and float amongst the bubbles. After their laughter subsided, they knew they still had a river to cross. Learning from Bobby's mistake, they tried a new plan. Kat, being light and graceful, carefully tested a few bubbles near the edge, finding the sturdiest ones. She then showed Romo how to take small, careful hops. It took many funny jumps, a few more splashes, and a lot of giggles, but eventually all three of them made it to the other side. They were all a bit damp and covered in suds, but they were together and safe. And as for Bobby, well, he couldn't stop burping tiny shiny bubbles for the rest of the way, each one making a little pop as it floated into the air. What a silly, bubbly adventure! Thank you for joining us on this wonderful journey. If you loved our story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more magical adventures with our friends. See you next time.